It really matters how we show up. So in the For His Glory CEO standard, I will tell you, the girlies know on Wednesday when we get on our Zooms that we show up with our cameras on, professionally ready to give professionally into our own businesses. Why? You show up casual, you'll work your business casual. You show up on purpose, you work that business on purpose. It's not a hobby anymore. It is a business. You are bringing revenue into your business every single day. Otherwise, it's not a business. So when we show up on our inner circle calls, we have our hair done. We have our makeup on. We have a thoughtful outfit on. We show up in the way that we want to present our business. Why? It's important. It's important, friends. Holding that standard for each other makes each other better. Welcome to For His Glory CEO, the podcast for high-achieving women like you who have built the business, hit the milestone, checked all the boxes, yet deep down something still feels off. The success is there, but you know God has so much more. I'm your host, Allie. If you're hungry for results rooted in the Word, this is for you. Let's get this party started. You know when your friend who is the visibility queen on LinkedIn, the MC of X-List, best-selling author, keynote speaker, all the things, when she tells you, girl, your For His Glory CEO standard is a keynote, you know your girl's going to podcast on it. This episode is all about the For His Glory standard. And like anything, a good story of understanding the root of things is so important, right? You always want to give context to everything, and stories sell, right? Facts tell. Sales girl on ya. So when she was sharing this with me, I was like, where is the root of my standard? Like, where did the standard come? And truly, it came from my pops. My pops always had the bar high, and I am incredibly grateful as a young gun that he modeled that for us, and now as a little older young gun of how that's played out in my life. And also shout out to the great coaches I've had in my life as well that have always held the standard. So what does that look like when we raise the bar? I can honestly tell you, I don't think my dad owns a pair of jeans. Pops, you're one of my best listeners, so you can let me know. But I literally don't think I've seen my dad in jeans. I even saw my dad's dad, my papa, in a double-breasted suit, shoes polished. Yeah, he had like the in-home like polisher. I remember as kids, we'd like put our hands in there. It's like the two brushes. And also like shine. There was like a shine. There was like shoe shining going. Whenever I go to the airports, I always think about that. Like he was not only dressed to impress, he was like dressed properly, professionally, up until the days, I think, of his death. I'm almost positive. I've never seen my papa ever in anything but dressed to impress. That is for sure. And I'm pretty sure my pops has followed suit strongly, and I've never seen him in jeans. Why do I share that? There is a principle in how you show up. Friends, I want to share something that I've actually never shared before, but it's been so transformational for multiple 6- and 7-figure businesswomen that I would be remiss not to share it with you. So I want you to picture this. You're in a room with 10 other women who are running payroll, running teams, making heavy, high-stake decisions, and managing everything. And imagine you bringing your question or your bottleneck to that group of women. Do you think that you can handle things which used to maybe take you months, maybe years, in the next 10 minutes? What I found is a lot of us playing at this field, we don't struggle with lack of strategy, motivation, even discipline. We struggle with not having a sounding board in real time with ideal clients and women who truly get the level we're playing at. And that's why I created the Inner Circle for multiple 6- and 7-figure women to play in. It is the community of communities that offers transformations like I've never seen before. And you know what the number one receipt is? We had 100% retention of those clients from 2025 rejoin us for 2026. It's a private, exclusive group and extremely selective as well. But if this sounds like this is exactly what you need, grab the Inner Circle application in the show notes and we'll let you know if you're a great fit. All right, back to the show. Those that show up, go up. And when you show up on mission, on purpose, right? For a purpose, people take you differently. Instant cred, street cred, when you're dressed and you're ready to go. Same as if you literally climb out of like a cardboard box, Hot Mess Express, Messy Bun Get Things Done. Like that flew during COVID, but that's not going to flow or fly if you're trying to build into a next level in your business. Let's think about it for a second. Are you going to trust someone as your leader who's like, oh, sorry, just Hot Mess Express today. Just don't mind me flying by the seat of my pants. Do you want those results that they get versus a woman that shows up, has her hair done, makeup on, a bright lipstick, earrings, a thoughtful outfit? Who are you going to trust more with your money to get you the results that you're looking for? Girl, I know this might be a hot topic because we are in the way like, oh, we can just dress however we want. Well, not really. If you're doing the same things you've always done, trying to get new results, that's like insanity, right? Doing the same things, not making the change. I'll tell you, I used to be on the Hot Mom Express. I was birthing babies, building businesses, all the things. And then there was a time where my dad called me and he said, Allie, what does the woman on the cover of the Forbes magazine wear? Like, that's a great question. So I went, looked it up, and there, sure enough, was this woman. I don't even know who she was at this time, but she had a Navy business suit on. Called him back. I said, Dad, she's wearing a Navy business suit. Do you not know that I went out and bought a Navy business suit for my next event? And when I walked into that room with corporate that had flown in to do the event, the host of the event did not even recognize me because of how I dressed. She's like, oh my goodness, I didn't even recognize you when you came in. There was a new standard that I was setting. I wanted to attract a different level of a consultant. So I, therefore, myself needed to be a different level of leader. If you've never read The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell, amazing read. It's literally right there. I've reread it I don't know how many times, but he talks about attracting those because that's what you want in your life. So I always talk about walk, talk, act like it's done before it's done. Conviction is strong as steel. It's really what you do behind closed doors that allows people to know, like, and trust you faster because they know, okay, if they are presenting themselves as the leader that you want to be, it's easier for you to trust them and say, nope, that's someone I want to join in business, or that's the coach I want to hire, or that's the CPA that I know can do the best with my finances. It really matters how we show up. So in the For His Glory CEO standard, I will tell you, the girlies know on Wednesday when we get on our Zooms that we show up with our cameras on, professionally ready to give professionally into our own businesses. Why? You show up casual, you'll work your business casual. You show up on purpose, you work that business on purpose. It's not a hobby anymore. It is a business. You are bringing revenue into your business every single day. Otherwise, it's not a business. So when we show up on our inner circle calls, we have our hair done. We have our makeup on. We have a thoughtful outfit on. We show up in the way that we want to present our business. Why? It's important. It's important, friends. Holding that standard for each other makes each other better. This Wednesday was hilarious because one of the girls that is like always dressed to impress. In fact, the first time I got on a Zoom with her to interview her for Inner Circle, I was like, whoa, you look amazing. She was like, thanks, I'm an executive coach. And she also has a Fortune 500 company. She takes it seriously. She showed up like a professional. She made me want to up my game. That's important. So she had flown in hot into the Zoom call on Wednesday, not looking like her normal self because she was doing childcare for something that she does and serves in. It's amazing. And she goes, listen, there's also values. I value being on time. And I knew if I was going to be on time that I have to show up like this. And I value if I had to go change into my CEO standard, I would have been late. So those are times where we make exceptions. Absolutely, right? But it was also her knowing that there was a standard to be kept and that she was going to always have that standard. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that amazing to be inside containers that you know you got to get ready? Well, same is true for me. I'll just tell on myself real quick. I had my AI coaching and podcasting, and you know what? Girly has a lot on my plate right now, which I always just say, I'll get a bigger plate. But I'm getting ready for our in-person retreats in Inner Circle. And if you follow me at all on the internet, you know that these Inner Circle retreats are above and beyond. And I always want to up level. Why? I think it's important. Always raising the bar, always raising the standard. And then I also have 4 children. I have 3 new one-to-one clients and a couple new onboarding ones in my Inner Circle and my For His Glory community. So 8 a.m. here on a Thursday, I was dressed. I did have makeup on, but I did forget my lipstick. So we get on and my AI coach is like, okay, go ahead and plug in your phone. We are going to do our video right now so I can walk you through it. And I was like, hold up, wait a minute. I need to go get my lipstick. And he called me out. It is hysterical. And I like to make fun of myself all the time. I can always laugh about myself. So I reposted what he said. He's like, working with men and working with women is so different. I never had a man say, hold on, let me go put on my lipstick. But sure enough, I did. Why? That's my standard. If I'm going to be camera ready, I'm going to have it all together. Another funny story to suit, my 6-year-old, when we had a class party, he says, Mom, we have our class party. I want you to wear red lipstick, big earrings, and a bright dress. I crack up. And then since I'm a sales girl, I want to say, and you should always say, specifically tell me why, son, you want me in a red lip, big earrings, and a bright dress. He says, Mom, that's what cool moms wear. Cool moms wear lipstick, earrings, and bright dresses. I thought, isn't that unique? His 6-year-old brain is talking about a standard of how moms show up. And when they show up like that, they're ready, right? They thought about the outfit that they're going to wear. When you show up on purpose, for a purpose, you show up differently. You don't shoot from the hip. You don't just like, I just showed up, chaos all over the place, because then you don't feel great, right? If you don't show up on purpose, with a purpose, looking intentionally ready to enjoy the time, my 6-year-old knows that translates into how I'm going to feel at the party and how I'm going to represent myself. Isn't that powerful? Our kids are always watching us. Our kids are our disciples. I say that all the time. My first ministry is the Fab Four. But my little guy realized I made a shift in my own business. I made a shift in how I showed up. My husband noticed that shift, right? Coming home, me just being like exhausted, oversized t-shirt, didn't care, versus me being professionally ready, hair and makeup, lipstick on, and him being like, let's go, wifey, right? That's important, friends. We have a Marriage Made in Heaven group that we host. We have a Marriage Made in Heaven podcast. I talk about this. It is important to my husband that I take good care of myself. And good on him, because you know what? He knows when I show up ready, I feel my best. When I let myself go, I'm not feeling good at all. And that is important. Being camera ready, making sure that you are dressing the part of the woman you want to become. Maybe that's a Forbes magazine cover. Maybe it's being the best coach, the best CPA, the best whatever you do. Make sure that you show up intentionally, because people are going to notice. They're going to say, what does she do? We want people to be curious, right? That's big in sales. That's big across the board. Really getting curious about people. Well, I can tell you this. If you climbed out of a shoebox and you look like you're disheveled and haven't showered for days, people are not going to be that curious about what you do. But when you show up ready to go, happy with a smile, and you look like you are there on purpose, people are going to say, I wonder what she does. That is important when you own your own business. You want to represent yourself well. Why? Because that know, like, and trust factor, it happens quick. You can tell what people do behind closed doors, the way that they prepare themselves. I was just at a conference this last week, and this girl, beautiful, head to toe, her outfits were on point, said, get up, suit up, show up. Get up, suit up, and show up, right? How you show up matters, friends. It tells people I can be liked. Well, I don't know, maybe it can be likable without showing up, but I'm trustworthy because I take my brand and it's important to me. I take what I do and I make sure that I hold the standard that I'm going to have other people held accountable for. My last episode was on those 5 people, right, in your inner circle: your cheerleader, your mentor, your softie, your coach, your bruiser. How they show up matters, right, in your life. I tell my kids, what if the pastor showed up and hasn't showered for a couple days, hair's disheveled, didn't care about the outfit, forgot the shoes? Would you really respect that? Would you really be like, wow, I really want to hear from this man of God? Versus really representing the kingdom of God well, with a spirit of excellence, dressed, clean clothes, showered, ready to go, right? It's different. Imagine showing up. When we grew up, we showed up, right? I think that's a great thing about Catholics when they go to show up. They show up to church ready to go, thoughtful outfit, before the Kings of Kings, Lord of Lords. It might be more of a religious type sense for that, because I know some people just don't care how they show up, but I do think it's important to show up like royalty. I have my Queen Bee pin. I usually have my crown above it, but I think it is so, so, so important to represent the Father well. I think we have a huge, huge calling to do that with excellence. And it really does matter, friends, of what standard you hold. And so I pray that this episode makes you think about how you show up. I'll finish with this funny story. My mom got into golf and she loved all the golf clothes. She was just the cute little golfer. And she goes, my golf game's not that good, but my clothes are great. And you know what? My golf game will someday match how good I look. You know the whole fake it till you make it or faith it till you make it? That was true. And she told me, she's like, you know, sweetheart, when you start dressing, when you don't feel good and you put on a great outfit and, you know, do your hair and makeup, it changes your entire attitude. It really does. It automatically elevates how you feel. That's faith in it till you make it some days, friends. You might be on the messy hair, messy bun, get stuff done, hot mom express. I've been there, done that. I promise you, if you want the next level, showing up with the For His Glory CEO standard, putting on a thoughtful outfit, doing your hair and your makeup, you might not need a red lip, but I promise you your husband might love it. With some earrings, it will really elevate how you feel and it will help you get to that next level. It's not going to be that strenuous. It might be a little uncomfortable for you at first, but I just saw this amazing, amazing friend of mine who looked absolutely phenomenal at this retreat. And I said, girl, you're looking good. She's like, thanks to you. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, your standard. You told me this is important. I've never felt better from putting on a thoughtful outfit, doing my hair and makeup, having a red lip and earrings. She's like, it makes me feel so good inside. It's helped me show up better for my clients, for my husband, as a mom, and I'm pregnant. I'm like, what? This is amazing. I'm so grateful that she shared that with me. And not only that, we got to be live in person when she shared it. You guys, that's what going to the next level means. Being around the people that carry themselves professionally. And I have another fun story. This is my story episode. I was a volleyball player and we did carpooling with other mommies. And I remember the mom that wore a bathrobe. And sometimes she had hair rollers in. It was amazing, comical, great mom. Then there was the mom that had hair and makeup done, smelled amazing, had these little bangle bracelets, I just remember. And I was like, man, what does she do? What does she? She must do something important. She must help people. Isn't that funny at a young age, thinking back to my 6-year-old, how he sees people as well and moms show up and how they're the cool moms. But I always think that person must do something great. That person must help people. Just based on how they showed up. So take a good look at where you're at now, where you want to go, and are you acting like it? Are you acting like the 7-figure earner? Take a look at different people that you admire. How do they show up? What do they wear? How do they talk? How do they walk? It matters, friends, and it will help you so much. I mean, I don't know if y'all are going to get pregnant. If you don't want to be pregnant, watch out. I'm kidding. If you want to be pregnant, then maybe it's the key to success, like my girlfriend. But how you show up matters. What is your standard? I have so much more to say about this, and I know we're just going about the outward stuff right now, but inwardly, there's so much more to say, and I'll talk about no compromise. Having no compromise in your life is a huge For His Glory CEO standard, and we're going to hit that up and a topic soon to come, but take a good look in the mirror today. Raise the bar, raise the standard, and you're going to feel real good about it. You've been tuning in to For His Glory CEO podcast, where unshakable faith meets bold business strategy to equip you for your next level. If this blessed you, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it. And if you're a businesswoman that's looking for the right circle to scale big, we got you. Click the show notes and hear more about our For His Glory CEO community, which is one of a kind, amazing. And remember, we're not just building businesses, we're building the kingdom of God. Until next time.